not only puts you into a position like this where you're playing the best team in Australia, but you don't want to get comfortable with just making playoffs. You need to be able to go, okay, we're going to do even better next season, 3-2. Then after that, 4-1, and then 5-0, and then we're the next sitting drop best. That's sort of the gradual, you know, incline you want to make.
Yeah, that's it. And a team like Breakaway has been around for a little bit now. They've been doing okay, but we're just waiting for them to do just that one step better, isn't it? That's it. Just one step better than the players. Make it through to semis. Just do just a little bit more. But it's always going to be tough if you come fourth in your group. And right now, that is what we are seeing here. Hopefully, Breakaway can take something away from playing against a team like the Drop Bears. But for now, I want to see them go and pick up the first 2 points here and give us a real fight on Horizon.
So some more goats. This time they are going back to Reinhardt rather than the Winston that we saw on Numbani. You mentioned that, you know, you'd like to see on Assault sometimes some upsets that may happen. Start.
Yeah, CKM goes down first. Trades back too, but another one is picked up there by Jarvis. And look, the kill's actually going in Breakaway's favor. This is what we were talking about. Now's an opportunity for them to at least get onto the point and start capturing this one up. It's taken a little bit of a while here for the kills to come through, which means maybe the Drop Bears will start coming through with the respawns, and Ford's going to get caught out there as well. So I don't know, maybe they're going to have to fall back. They get halfway, but halfway is not enough. Yeah,
smart by Sydney Drop Bears remaining players there. They were able to sort of just pull away from the point, understand that if they threw their bodies onto the point, yeah, they would stop it for now, but then they would be dying, and then it would be just sort of the snowball effect. Instead, they pulled back, waited a little while before coming back in. Huss uses the grab. By that point, they had enough members that they were able to get kills, and then from there, retake the point.
Few ultimates coming up for both teams now, as well as Breakaway going to try and push on in once again. We'll see who wins the battle of the Reinhardts, but now Breakaway aren't looking that bad. Chronodota does go down. Trance immediately popped as well, coming out from Breakaway, as is the Earthshatter. Java's going to jump onto the point, and with the fight being not on the point, this is a great position now for Breakaway to find themselves point A.
Yeah, Birdlock though pops the sound barrier, so Sydney Drop Bears want to continue to contest this. They get it to 97.3% for Breakaway. D-Field does get the execution onto Huss, and it is going to be Breakaway Esports with a big 1 next to their name and 5 minutes and 50 seconds.
This is actually really good now for Breakaway. They've got the momentum. They got a lot of very late kills there as well, which now allows them to immediately push onto Objective B. And they're going to start capturing this one. Also, the Drop Bears, however, they are the team that has the ultimates in their pocket. Only that sound barrier here to try and keep Breakaway alive. They're going to pop that one, but D-Field goes down first. They're now 1 player down. Ball's picked up. And unfortunately, with the Drop Bears having the spawn advantage on the second objective, will see this one stopped in its tracks. Yeah,
unfortunate for Breakaway Esports. They would have liked to have been able to draw out the Earthshatter from Chronodota as well. They got the self-destruct out from Shoyo, but if they could have got at least that Earthshatter as well, that would have been huge. Obviously, Chronodota was always going to be able to hold on to that, make sure they have that ult economy unless it was absolutely vital to use it. But that's what you want to do as a team, especially when you're coming in from that first checkpoint with the momentum. Force out ultimates, be aggressive. That grab, though, from Huss really held them up.
Yeah, this is, to be fair, the best we've seen so far from Breakaway in this particular matchup. Maybe halftime did something for them here, but see what they can do. 2 ultimates available for them right now. The same for the Drop Bears. They push down now onto the point behind their big Reinhardt shield. 4 will make his way on. Drops back for now. As we said, the Drop Bears, they've got the ultimate advantage. They've got the spawn advantage. Well, unfortunately, that shield goes down just at the very wrong time there, as Drop Bears push through with a big Earthshatter.
I'm not sure if I agree with the very late trend. Well, no, I said late transcendence from Baby Power. Earthshatter landed, got 4 people. There was that early death immediately from that. Sometimes you've just got to concede and say, okay, you win the battle. We're trying to win the war, though. But by using that transcendence, you're actually just sort of denying yourself an opportunity in the future. 4 minutes still on the time bank for Breakaway, but they've only now got 1 ultimate in their economy.
Yeah, they've used up a little bit there. They've obviously lost a little bit more time as well. You keep everyone alive. Means it takes longer for you to get that respawn going. But they have a number of opportunities still remaining to make something of Objective B. Certainly looking capable of capturing it at the moment. They just need to find the right engagement. Timing is key here for Breakaway. We'll see what they choose to throw into this. If anything at all, it might be a dry push from them for now, as they do lose Reinhardt and Brigitte almost immediately. The rest of the Drop Bears will follow through. Unfortunately, whilst pushing through and not using any ultimates can be beneficial. It's only beneficial if you can bait out ultimates from your opponent.
Yeah, Bertlog playing this really well right now. He's just jumping around, skating, and he's able to sort of get on top of Breakaway Esports and try and look for boops to try and either get four or any member of Breakaway Esports into a bad position that would allow Sydney Drop Bears to sort of pounce on them. Sydney playing this so well right now defensively. They've got 5 out of their 6 ultimates. Breakaway Esports sort of look like they've just pulled the pin a little bit in the aggressiveness. Now they're just banking up ultimates as long as they can. There's that push from Bertlog that I mentioned.
Sound barrier comes through. Earthshatter comes out as well from the Drop Bears. And they throw a couple of ultis into this one. It will find them a victory, at least in this particular fight. You can see that Breakaway have actually used a lot of their ultimates in this fight. I'm not so sure that that was what they needed to do. Yeah,
we saw it before as well when Baby Poro used that Transcendence before. This is the same, but even worse, Ben, because they've used like 4 or 5 ultimates in a fight that they had lost immediately. Bertlog opened it up with that boop. I mentioned he's been skating around above them and trying to come in from behind, get a boop onto someone like 4. It messes with the shield as well and the way that it sort of is angled when they get booped. And then, of course, when the Reinhardt's in the middle of all 5 or 6 players of Sydney Drop Bears, they're going to go down. He's going to go down. So really good boop, opened it up, got the kill. Breakaway tried to respond, wasted ultimates.
Yeah, unfortunately, obviously Breakaway can't see what their opponent's ulti charge is like we can, but at this point, you'd probably expect that they have a good idea of where things are at. Right now, it's going to be a Graviton Surge right into the middle here of Breakaway, going to capture them out straight away. Here comes an Earthshatter. 4 going to try and make something of this, but he's about to go down as well. As we saw, it just desperation measures, unfortunately, coming out here from Breakaway. Yeah,
and smart again there as well from Bertlog with the sound barrier. Saw that the Earthshatter had landed, and you knew that they had only used 1 ultimate in that fight anyway, the Graviton Surge from Huss, and really if you're trying to save that ultimate economy, you only want to commit at maximum 2 ultimates in that fight. So they had only used 1. He had the permission to use that sound barrier. They've got 4 coming up anyway. They're still holding this economy over Breakaway Esports, who are just struggling. They're running out of ideas. They've tried the top side, they've tried the bottom side on the right. Now they're going to come in from below them. Bertlog, that's actually smart because it denies Bertlog really from doing what he's trying to do, which is boot them around.
Yeah, this is probably good positioning. Plus, they have 3 support ultimates to work with. But all of that goes to nothing when the Earthshatter comes out and unfortunately is not blocked. We started with 5 minutes on the clock here for Objective B. Now, 45 seconds remains. They at least did not use 2 of their support ultimates, so if Breakaway have anything in their favor, it is that. But when you look at what the Drop Bears have as well, it's going to be tough.
I mean, the downside, though, is that Sydney Drop Bears only used 1 ultimate in that fight. It's not as if they committed 2 or 3, so it was an easy wipe for the Sydney Drop Bears. They've still got 3 ultimates up. Make that 4 now with the Graviton Surge. Breakaway Esports, you mentioned, Ben. They've only got the support ultimates. They will have the Grav, though, from Slipsaw J. Baby Poro pushed down the Graviton Surge, and Sydney Drop Bears just unload all of the ultimates. Sound barrier from Jervis. I think it may be too late, though.
Yeah, there's not much here you would expect the Breakaway can do in this situation. Both support ultimates now used. They're on to the point self-destruct coming out from the defensive side. One last self-destruct from Quad J won't be successful, and overtime ticks away into nothingness. So we did at least get something here from Breakaway. They were very impressive on Objective A. They captured it really quite quickly on their 2nd attempt, so they should be very proud of that. But now they have not that much to work with. Objective A up against a team like the Drop Bears, you probably have to think this is going to be a tough one to stop. That means that if the Drop Bears get it, they only need to find 33% on the 2nd objective, and they'll find themselves a spot in the semi-finals.
Well, for Breakaway Esports, this could be their final moments of this season of Australian Contenders, and it's one that they want to at least try to extend for as long as possible. The question is, though, do they maybe mix things up a little bit? I see the Ash hovered over there. Of course, she is available.
Not sure I would love to see it.
Not sure if we'll see it, though. Although, as I'm saying that, they maybe are running out. Of course, the Drop Bears are going to be attacking now. I think it may be the Sombra play that we've seen a few times this season on Horizon Lunar Colony, especially used as a scout at times that we've seen, and also just for general play.
Well, Breakaway on defense, they do have D-Field with the Ash, so this looks like it might be occurring. I'm very excited about this. A little bit of a change as well. Orisa up there.
Bunker.
I like it.
But they're using the Ash here in play instead of like a Torbjorn or even like a Soldier 76. So they're going to continue to use the Junkrat with the Orisa here. but they're going to go and try out Ash instead. So we'll see how this plays out for D-Field and for Breakaway Esports. I do get a sense of feeling this may not play out too well because Ash is technically just available right now here in Contenders for the playoffs.
Yeah, let's see what D-Field can do here with this change up. The first time we have seen Ash in Overwatch Contenders Australia, so this is quite exciting. The Drop Bears just scouting out what Breakaway have, and they're going to be changing it up. Chronodota going to be moving across now to the Winston. We'll see what this change will make for them. Yeah,
pretty standard switch back onto the Scout. Now they're going to be starting to push up to the high ground, and obviously this is where we are going to see the advantage for Breakaway Esports more than anything. They've got a long range encountered projectiles and bullets and rifles, etc., and this is where they want to take these fights from a distance.
Look, that's a good start for them, to be perfectly honest. Unfortunately, the only downside here is that Slitz didn't get all that much ulti charge. We'll be looking to try and get that Riptide out as quickly as possible, because we know a Riptide can essentially end one of these fights, one of these pushes in its tracks. But Breakaway, that's a good start. That's what we want to see.
Yeah, exactly right. But you do mention as they need that Riptide. That's so pivotal. Now we're going to see the Drop Bears pushing straight in from below. Then this is where a Riptide can completely negate this push altogether. Burlock is going to go down, though, through the concussion mine. Unfortunately for Breakaway, immediately T-Field gets popped. Ash is really not that tanky in a sense. It's just a squishy hero at the end of the day.
Riptide is going to try and do something. At least finds Haas, but the rest of the team has split up. They'll find themselves that 1/3 tick, but Breakaway pushing back on, looking to try and stop this. I don't think it's going to happen. It looks to me like the Drop Bears will find the first objective.
Nano boosted Orisa as well. Riptide was used. Unfortunately, losing D-Field very early on didn't help. Slitz didn't have the Riptide up for the push.
Now this is going to be very bad for Breakaway. Look at this momentum that the Drop Bears have straight onto the point. They have the ulti charge as well. Breakaway lost a number of players very late.
Is going to be used. No, it doesn't pick anyone. They get behind the pillar. But you're right, this is going to be tough. 33.3% is all that's required for the City Drop Bears, and the Kraken has got the Transcendence still available. Going to pop that one right now. D-Field, Bob, and we're going to see him come out for some play here in Contenders.
It's all up to you, Bob. Finally, we'll see you on the battlefield here. It's going to be on the moon.
And he's gone.
Yeah, Bob's going to go down. The Drop Bears are finding the kills, and the Drop Bears are going to make themselves known here. They're going to find this third map by the looks of things and lock themselves a spot in the semi-finals. Still undefeated, 23 maps in a row. The Sydney Drop Bears, congratulations for Breakaway Esports. Unfortunately for them, that is the end of Season 3. However, they did at least make it through to playoffs. There's very little that you can do, ZeNox, when you go up against a team like the Sydney Drop Bears, the team to beat this season. And if anyone's going to beat them, they're going to have to wait, I suspect, until the grand final.
Yeah, most likely. And for Breakaway Esports, sort of the takeaway for them would be the fact that they've improved a little bit this season, especially off the back of Season 2. So it's about now going into the next season and trying to improve again. I think, you know, you want to get a positive win ratio. That's their sort of goal probably going into the next season. And as we look back here on Horizon Lunar Colony, it was a decent beginning that we saw from Breakaway Esports. They got that first point, and unfortunately from there, that was about it.
Yeah, they did. We saw some pretty good things coming out of them. It was just, to me, their ultimate use on Objective B. I understand that can be tough, and I guess, to be fair, we did say, look, maybe up against a team like the Drop Bears, if you're trying to push in without using your ultis, maybe you're still not going to be able to do enough to bait out ultimates from them and then find yourself with an advantage when it comes to that ultimate economy. It's just the very nature of the beast. But whatever it may be, they weren't able to find even a tick there on the second point. The Drop Bears just too strong.
Yeah, sometimes it's about trading one ultimate for another, and then if you can get lucky trading one ultimate for two, for example. So if you use like a Graviton Surge, you can force out easily like a Transcendence and then maybe like a Self-Destruct from the other team, etc. You can use then hopefully multiple ultimates. So sometimes you might go into a fight and you use a Graviton Surge and then they use like 2 or 3 to counter that, and that's fine. It's like, okay, they win the fight, they use 2 or 3, let's come back to the next one. We've got now more ultimates, but didn't quite work out for Breakaway Esports. Give them credit though, they at least performed on Horizon Lunar Colony, but it was too little too late and still yet not enough.
Yep, so Breakaway eliminated from Contenders Season 3 in Australia. The Sydney Drop Bears continue their unbeaten run, 23 maps in a row. Look, That is very impressive, to be perfectly honest. And they are definitely the team to beat. Doing so today, it was, to be fair, that was 45 minutes, ZeNox. It doesn't get much quicker than that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't, does it? But in saying that, the next map, or the next game series that's coming up, I think will go a little bit longer.
Yeah,
I
have an inkling. Obviously, that's the nature of that reverse seeding 1v4. It's always going to be tougher for the 4th seed than 2v3, Mike, which is what we're seeing next. But congratulations once again to the Sydney Drop Bears. We'll see how they go in the semis. They know they're going to be playing one of the next 2 teams as well, so this is going to be an interesting one for them to see how this plays out. Just, exactly.
Watch.
Relax. We're in now. We're locked. Let's see who our opponent will be. We can start working on them. So that's what that is about, I suppose. So it's time once again for our Macca's play of the game. A McDonalds Australia play of the game is the Sydney Drop Bears up against Breakaway Esports in our playoffs, our big quarterfinal. Let's see this play. It's Chrono Dota coming through. Huge Earth Shatter.
Yeah, being able to pick up 4 people there with 1 Earth Shatter, it completely stops that push altogether from Breakaway Esports. And that was the first time they've probably gotten that close to the checkpoint as well, without Bertlog booping them around. So that was unfortunate for them. There was only 55 seconds left too. So great Earth Shatter, Macca's play of the game.
Yeah, as we like to see. Bit of a change. We've seen a lot of self-destructs, a lot of Graviton surges so far this season, or a combination of the 2. So nice to see a bit of a change up there from the Drop Bears coming through. And look, to be fair, we didn't see many Graviton Surge hole-in-ones in that match. There wasn't, I suppose, enough time to really see too many come through.
No, you're right. We didn't really see that. I think it was just because of the way that the grabs were used quite a bit differently in this series from both teams, but from Sydney Drop Bears' perspective, a lot of it was used to keep players off of point, for example, or initiating early fights when self-destruct wasn't up as well. So maybe moving away from that for the Sydney Drop Bears, trying to sort of move away from committing 2 big ultimates like grab and self-destruct.
Well, that's it. It's expensive, isn't it? If you can avoid using it as much as it looks cool, if you got enough DPS without the self-destruct, or if your Diva's good enough that you don't need the Graviton Surge, why use both? But that is our first quarterfinal done. The Drop Bears make their way through to the semis. Coming up next, it is Heist up against Blank Esports. We'll be back right after this break.